To go. Alright. I'm gonna test. We're gonna be doing some testing. Hang on. We're gonna be doing some testing. Yes. Okay. I got myself with some voice. Let me share my screen. Share my screen. Alright. Alright, we're gonna be trying this again. Alright. We're gonna hide you. So yes, so what's up everybody? This is the Dimond 360. And we're coming back with this Fixing the High Republic episode 1, where I'm gonna be showing off my main protagonists. These are my main characters who are gonna be in the High Republic. So I did this video last night, however, I apparently I didn't put myself in the stream. It was really weird, so you couldn't hear me at all. But I'm here now, and I'm gonna get to talk about my, I think it's my 1, 2, 3, 4, my 8 main characters. These are the characters that you guys are gonna be following through my High Republic. These are gonna be the main characters with the most character arcs. They're all established High Republic characters that have been rewritten to better serve this Legends timeline version of the era. But also, as a side note, I'm actually going to be putting 2 excerpts from the Light of the Jedi rewrite in the comment section. The book is really, really close to being done. I'm going to talk to Jedi Knight and see if we can get a review. If I'm going to send out copies of the rewritten book to a couple subscribers. You got to subscribe, though. And we're going to try and send it out, and we're going to try and do like a review on it, is what I'm thinking. And then when the review comes out, we're going to every subscriber and to everyone who joins the Discord server. I'm still trying to find a way to get the link into the comments because it didn't work last time, but I'm going to find a way. And it's just going to be on the Discord server so every subscriber can read it. But you got to subscribe, though. You don't have to be like a member or something. You just have to be a subscriber. But yeah, so in the comment section, there will be 2 excerpts from my rewrite of Light of the Jedi. And they're not really spoiler filled, but just so you can get an idea of what the book's going to be like. But yeah, I'm excited. I think I've done a really good job with it. But anyway, you didn't come here to hear about some excerpts of Light of the Jedi. You came to learn about the main characters of the High Republic. And so, because these are all books, you don't really get images of the characters. So this is Avar Kriss. This is what she looks like. This is her illustration. This is what you should be imagining when you look at her. If you've seen my original channel, Dimond 360, you know that I hold this character with a lot of disdain. I'm not a big fan of Avar Kriss in the actual canon, but don't worry, because I've done a lot of rewriting, and I've turned her from a Mary Sue into a pretty solid character. She's a very good lead. So here is her. So I have kind of a description of her personality and traits, special abilities, and for some reason, I did an entire description of her lightsaber, and then some kind of behind the scenes on when I was creating her. So, Avar Kriss. Avar Kriss is one of the greatest Jedi of her generation. She is compassionate, loyal, and an inspiration to all those around her. Avar grew up through the Order with both Elzar Mann and Stellan Gios, and while she and Gios tend to have more of a professional relationship, her bond with Mon is unbreakable. Avar Kriss is as good as they come. So she's not necessarily a Mary Sue. She's still considered like an ideal Jedi. She's considered to be an ideal Jedi by other masters, but she's not considered a Mary Sue, and she's far from a Mary Sue herself, because she has her victories, but she also has her defeats, and she's definitely not the perfect. She's like a Jedi celebrity, but she isn't. She doesn't necessarily consider herself a Jedi celebrity. So, personality and traits. Avar Kriss was often recognized for her immense compassion and care for those around her. Although she never took a Padawan herself, she often acted as a mentor figure to younger Jedi such as Keeve Trennis and Imri Kenataros. Avar is often one of the first Jedi to act when a situation is dire, and is a proven leader time and time again. Her close bond with fellow Jedi Elzar Mann is often a point of controversy among her peers due to Mon's more extreme methods. We're going to get to Elzar Mann later in this video. I have begun writing Avar and Keeve Trennis's dynamic in There Is No Fear, which is the comic series that I rewrote as a book. And I will say their interactions are really, really fun to write. And I think not only does it make Keeve Trennis one of my favorite characters to write likable, it makes Avar super likable. But that's up for you guys to decide when you see it in 2,000 years. So, powers and abilities. Like all Jedi, Avar Kriss wielded the Force and was highly connected to it. She possessed many of the Jedi standard abilities, such as Force Push, Pull, Jedi Mind Trick, and Force Augmentation. However, what separated her from many other Jedi was her unique telepathic connective powers. She was able to link her mind with Bel Zettifar to strengthen his resolve and break his mind from the Drengir. Later, during the Battle of Hetzel, she used this power on a large scale to connect the minds of every Jedi on the battlefield and provide battle tactics, strengthening their resolve. So, it's a very similar power to what she has in the actual High Republic. It's like a battle meld, battle meditation, like hybrid ability. And I did spoil two parts of Light of the Jedi, a Battle of Hetzel, and her and Bel Zettifar with a few other Jedi facing off against some Drengir. So this is weaponry. This is a picture of Avar Kriss's lightsaber. Hold on. I'm just gonna make sure the audio is good. Okay, it's good. It's good. Alright, so this is her weaponry. That's her lightsaber hilt. So Avar's lightsaber was an elegantly crafted lightsaber created after her ascension to Jedi Master. The hilt was made from a silver alloy coated with an electrum finish and an added crossguard to the top of the hilt to help guard her hands from her own blade. Powering the weapon is a single green Ilum crystal. Now, something of note here is there's more than just Ilum crystals in this High Republic. Like, some Jedi have Adegan crystals, some have Ilum crystals, some even have synthetic crystals as well. So that's just something to note. Not because this is supposed to be in the Legends timeline, so not every Jedi has an Ilum crystal. Most of them do, but a lot of them have Adegan crystals and some even synthetic crystals. And that's what her lightsaber looks like. So this is kind of the behind the scenes on her creation. So I didn't want her to be a Mary Sue. I never wanted her to be a Mary Sue. So I kind of took what they had for her, like, oh, best of the best Jedi. But I didn't make her literally the best of the best Jedi. She's considered that, even though she doesn't necessarily think herself a goddess, she's like a celebrity. She's treated as like a goddess, but even if she really isn't in life. Like, I personally wouldn't consider her the quintessential Jedi, but she's very close to it. A lot of Jedi do consider her that. When I was doing the Avar Kriss, Elzar Mann, Stellan Gios dynamic, not only was I trying to do the Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka dynamic, but it's also the Jedi Guardian, Consular, and Sentinel dynamic as well. And Avar Kriss is definitely the Ahsoka of the dynamic, and the Jedi Consular. So she's the Consular to Stellan's Guardian and Elzar's Sentinel. And she's also the Ahsoka of the Anakin, Obi-Wan Ahsoka. She has like the better balance of compassion and nobility. And Yeah, I think she's definitely going to be a really interesting character. She's one of the mains in Light of the Jedi, so you'll get to meet her head on. Speaking of another Jedi you're going to meet head on in Light of the Jedi is Stellan Gios. I know he's not actually in the actual Light of the Jedi, but this is a rewrite, so I do what I want. And Stellan Gios is a very big character in that book as well. So Stellan Gios is a wise and noble master of the Jedi Order. Praised for his skills with the lightsaber, Stellan was named Battle Master of the Jedi Order and stood as one of its greatest teachers. He has trained both Lily Tora Ozzy and the prodigy Vernestra Rowe, and knighted her at 16, making her the youngest Jedi to ever be knighted, a testament to his teaching skills. A staunch opposer of the dark side, Stellan is often the voice of reason amongst the crowd, and is often willing to question the decisions of his peers if he believes them to be wrong. So yeah, Stellan is basically the quintessential Jedi. He's like an even better. He's like the perfect balance of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi that you didn't even know existed. But guess what? It does exist, and you're gonna learn it. And he's a Jedi battle master. Put it this way: if Stellan Gios had been Anakin Skywalker's master, Anakin would not have fallen to the dark side. I'm just saying, right? Like right now, Stellan Gios, if he was Anakin's master, Anakin would have never became Darth Vader. Um, Avar Kriss, I think Anakin also probably wouldn't have fallen to the Sith if Avar was the master, but I don't think she would have done as good a job as Stellan. I think Stellan would have done a much better job. So for his personality and traits, Stellan is a very noble Jedi and portrays himself as such. He often takes a leadership position and always takes the initiative with plans. He's very humble and works hard to better himself with every mission. He's a staunch opposer of the dark side and works to end its reign over the galaxy at any cost. Although he was rather close with Avar Kriss and Elzar Mann as Padawans, he's chosen to keep a rather professional relationship with them over a familial bond. Another thing to mention is that Stellan Gios is actually a retired member of the Jedi Council. He was on the council, but he actually stepped down. You'll learn why he stepped down in Light of the Jedi. He explained there's a passage that explains it, but you'll see that soon enough. He's an absolute master with the lights. He's not as powerful in the Force as Avar Kriss, but he's unparalleled in his lightsaber skills. And then here's his weaponry. I wrote a whole description for his crossguard lightsaber. So here it is. Stellan Gios wields a customly created crossguard lightsaber to better compensate for his various dueling situations. The weapon is a lightsaber Excalibur that has a physical crossguard that could collapse when the weapon only brandished a single blade. Stellan had the option to ignite either a single blade or the crossguards as well, and the hilt was made from a silver and frick alloy finely coated with an electrum finish. Remember, Stellan is a former council master, which means he had the option of electrum on his saber. And that's what his lightsaber looks like. It's so cool. So again, he is the Obi-Wan, and he's very philosophical. That's something I'm really excited to show you guys, is he's a very philosophical Jedi. Like, he uses Jedi philosophy a lot to kind of be the voice of reason, but he serves the Force before the Jedi. So we're gonna get into the third member of the trio, Elzar Mann. Elzar Mann is a well-respected and although somewhat controversial Jedi Knight. Remember that he's a Jedi Knight. He's not a master. Often referred to with titles such as Reckless and Maverick. Elzar is determined and somewhat obsessed with bringing protection and justice to the civilians of the galaxy, no matter what the cost. Elzar shares a deep friendship with Avar Kriss, and the two are nearly inseparable within their bond. However, when the Nihil strike the galaxy, the damage they inflict brings Elzar's loyalties to the Jedi and over the galaxy to the ultimate test. He's very expressive. He does not hide his emotions. Although he does tend to keep a lot of secrets from his peers, he often butts heads with the Jedi Council and the Galactic Republic over what he feels is best for the galaxy, and often tends to do as he pleases or what he believes to be the Force's will. Um, he isn't as powerful in the Force as Avar Kriss, nor as good a duelist as Stellan Gios, but he makes up with it with his mastery of various alternative focuses. He's Jedi Sentinel Anakin Skywalker, but he's not like Anakin. He's a lot different. He's a master of stealth, computer hacking, interrogation, infiltration, and he uses his charm to his advantage. So when it comes to his weaponry, I think his weapon talks a lot about his personality. Elzar Mann carries a rather nondescript lightsaber in comparison to his fellow Jedi. The weapon was made of a silver alloy and housed various grips around the hilt to allow better gripping strength on his weapon. The weapon was powered by a synthetic blue crystal to show Elzar's more mechanical and pragmatic focus in his training. Here's the thing: Elzar is always going on missions. Elzar has gone through like 20 lightsabers throughout his life. So for Elzar, it doesn't really matter. His lightsaber doesn't necessarily matter as much anymore. So he just kind of made a pretty standard Jedi Knight lightsaber and got a synthetic crystal because he doesn't have the same spiritual focus as a Jedi as some of his peers, because he's more a protector of the people than a believer in the Force. Um, Elzar has a very dark past. Elzar Mann has a very dark past, which is something you'll learn maybe why he's so obsessed with everything, like why he's so obsessed with bringing order and peace to the galaxy. Sorry, I'm yawning as I do this. I'm sorry. I'm not bored. I'm just tired. But yeah, he does some he has a very crazy story in the High Republic. He's pretty radical. Um yeah, you guys are going to be really surprised by where his character goes. At least in my High Republic. He has a pretty wild character going for him. I don't think anyone's really expecting where he's going to go. But he dances with the dark side a little bit. You'll come to see that. Moving on to some other Jedi Knights, we got Keeve Trennis, who, by the way, one of my favorite characters to write in the High Republic. I find her incredibly relatable. I think a lot of people are also going to find her very relatable. And as a side note, the haircut, it's going away. She ain't having that dumb shit haircut. She's going to have a normal human haircut. Whatever's on the right side of her head is going to be on the left side of her head. At least from how you're looking at the picture. From her perspective, the left side is there, but you cut off the right side. Both sides of her hair are going to be on her head. So, there you go. Keeve Trennis is a young firebrand Jedi recently knighted by her order. Although she gained the privilege of learning under the highly esteemed Master Skier, the two never truly bonded despite Keeve's desire to prove herself worthy to her master, resulting in the young Jedi's lack of self-confidence in her own abilities. When the Nihil and Drengir threats emerge, Keeve is forced onto the front lines to protect her galaxy as a growing darkness within her begins to grow, and it's only a matter of time before she breaks. So, yep, Keeve has a bit of a darkness to her. Keeve is very empathetic and is kind to nearly everyone around her, except for Nihil and Drengir. She isn't very nice to Nihil and Drengir. She is often rather firebrand and reckless, although she is more than capable of controlling herself when a fight is at hand. She struggles deeply with her lack of confidence and constantly holds herself to a lower standard than she truly is. Her desperation to prove herself often brings her to a dark place, one that could be an even greater struggle for her in the future. Here's her weapon and stuff. And then we've got Vernestra Rowe. Vernestra is the youngest Jedi to ever be knighted at age 16. She's the former Padawan of Stellan Gios. She's quite focused in the ways of the Jedi and sometimes even a little dogmatic. She's highly gifted with the Force and a lightsaber and shows great leadership even during dire situations, and her loyalty to her order is without a fault. Vernestra is calm and level-headed. She is often the first to take initiative and always steps up to the leadership role during dire situations. She often puts order and control as a must in a chaotic galaxy, and puts her loyalties to the Jedi before the Force, something that she and her master disagree with often. So Vernestra carries a very simplistic lightsaber. It features a long hilt with basic silver alloy. The weapon originally carried a blue Ilum crystal, but was replaced by a purple storm crystal after crash landing on the planet Hurricane. Again, Vernestra, her weapon is a tool. Similar to Elzar, she considers her weapon a tool. The purple crystal inside her weapon calls to her a lot more than her blue one, so she definitely considers that worth focusing on, but she really doesn't care about much other than her lightsaber. I'm keeping the young 16-year-old knighting because Ahsoka was going to be knighted at 17, so it's like you can't really get mad at Vernestra if Ahsoka was going to be knighted at the same age. So yeah, she's being knighted at 16, and she's going to be struggling with that. She's going to be she might get a little arrogant, she might get a little overconfident in her abilities, something that she's going to learn to deal with. Moving over to our two Padawans, we have Reath Silas. Reath is a rather sheltered Padawan in comparison to his peers. Unlike his close friend Vernestra Rwoh, Reath is not inherently gifted in the Force and struggles with his abilities. He would much rather stay in the archives and read all day. However, fate would soon bring him into the very heart of danger, where the young Padawan will have to trust in his own strength of will just as much as he trusts in the Force. He's very shy, very sheltered. He doesn't have very many friends, and is even sometimes awkward when talking to people. He lacks an excitement for adventure and craves to just stay back in the temple. Where he lacks in the Force, he makes up for with his knowledge of the Force. Reath carries a rather ornate lightsaber designed for decorative purposes rather than combative modifications. Since he doesn't believe he's going to be using his lightsaber anytime soon, oh, he's going to be so wrong. The weapon features a copper finish with an open crystal chamber. Powering the weapon is a single green Ilum crystal. And that's what his lightsaber looks like. Open crystal chamber, all out Starkiller style. So Reath is not necessarily lacking in his own confidence as Keeve Trennis, as much as he's just unwilling to get out and see the galaxy and fight and have adventure. And then we have Bel Zettifar, who's a humble, well-going Padawan who's neither the most headstrong like Keeve Trennis nor shy like Reath Silas. Hold on, I have an ant. Got rid of him. So his compassion for others is very strong, and he's a very empathetic connection to the Force. He's good-hearted and a great sign for the next generation. Here's his lightsaber. It's pretty simplistic. And then Bel Zettifar is kind of the balance between Vernestra and Reath. He's not as powerful as Vernestra, but he's quite a step above Reath. His empathetic powers allow him to stand out in comparison to the other main characters. And then we have one last main character. We got Ty Yorick. Oh, she's a joy to write. I've already begun Rising Storm and Monster of Temple Peak. Oh, she's so fun to write. She's so fun. You guys are gonna love her. You're gonna bond with her so much. Ty is the marshal of a war-torn world called Korodon and acts as a saber for hire, specializing in whatever task she's given, ranging from bounty hunting to smuggling. Although never trained as a Jedi, she proves to be highly gifted with both their signature weapon and the Force, receiving training from a very unorthodox source. If you know what that source is, do not spoil it for everyone else. But yeah, I think people are going to get really excited when they know who her master was. Ty Yorick's personality can best be described as electric. She is witty, snarky, sassy, ruthless in battle, charming, and has a very big ego. She is highly opinionated and never shies away from telling everyone exactly what's on her mind. Not only does she use a lightsaber, but she uses blasters, grenades, Terraskasi hand-to-hand combat, whatever she can get her hands on to kill you with, she can use it. Now for her weaponry, Tyork carries a standard hilted lightsaber with 4 spikes coming off the top of it. The weapon features a Frick and Electrum finish and a purple Ilum crystal that powers the weapon. Interestingly, Ty's lightsaber is not her own and ties into another High Republic character. Again, don't spoil it. But yeah, Tyork is not a Jedi. She was never a Jedi in this version. In this version of the High Republic, she was never actually a Jedi, but she was just a Force sensitive saber for hire that was trained by an unknown source. She got her lightsaber in a pretty rare way. So yeah. We're gonna go back. So I know Lula Talisola is a main character, but it was like, do I want to focus on Lula or do I want to focus on Tyork? And Tyork was a pretty easy character choice. So I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you. 4 of the characters that you saw today, 4 of them, are in Light of the Jedi. Speaking of which, I'm going to be posting 2 excerpts from that book in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think of the 2 excerpts, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.